Ciao a tutti e bentornati sul mio canale. Oggi sono qui a Hoboken, New Jersey, con New York dietro di me. Hello everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm in Hoboken, New Jersey with New York in my background. Wait, let me start again. Let me take my mask over and start again. Be right back. Hey guys, so as I was saying before, I'm here today in Hoboken, New Jersey at Pier C with Manhattan to my back. My kids are around here running around playing on something, and today I'd like to come to you just from a different location and get started with our next lesson. Today I'd like to talk about nouns in Italian. I'd like to talk about common and proper nouns and what the differences are and how we use them in Italian. So let's get started, guys. Andiamo. Allora, nella lingua italiana abbiamo i nomi comuni e propri. Just like in English, our nouns refer to any object, place, or idea. And we categorize them into common nouns and proper nouns. So, common nouns, or I nomi comuni in Italian, refer to anything in general. So for example, the park we're in, or my house, my car, my son, the doctor, just in general. Whereas proper nouns, or in Italian we would say I nomi propri, refer to more specific names, geographical locations, and brands, etc. So for example, we're in Pier C here in Hoboken, New Jersey. Or we refer to Dr. Smith, or Signor Amato, or we refer to New York City, Rome, Italy. These are proper nouns. Same thing in Italian, I nomi propri versus I nomi comuni, common nouns. And of course, like with everything else, hold on a second while the dog finishes barking over here. Once again, we're at a beautiful location here, but as you can see, there's a lot of activity. In many other Romance languages, we have two genders that we have to deal with when we're discussing nouns. Okay, we're talking about masculine and feminine. Or in Italian, we would say maschile or femminile. In general, our masculine nouns will end with an O. Our feminine nouns will end with an A. So for example, a masculine singular would be il ragazzo, the boy. Il bambino, the child. Or feminine singular noun, we would have la ragazza, la bambina, or la pizza, for example. So keep in mind that when we're discussing nouns, we have to distinguish between masculine and feminine. We have to change the O to an I for masculine nouns, and we change the A to an E in feminine nouns. So for example, if we're talking about il ragazzo, the boy, to make them plural, we add the I, we change the il to an I, and we would say I ragazzi. So the O at the end of ragazzo becomes an I. For the feminine gender, instead of saying la ragazza, we say le ragazze. So the A at the end of ragazza becomes an E. Le ragazze. Okay guys, so we're back at home. Siamo tornati a casa mia per continuare la lezione. Back at home to continue the lesson. So as we were discussing earlier, we're discussing noun genders. So each noun has to end with a vowel, an O, or an A, or an E, masculine or feminine. Or we also say maschile or femminile. Okay, let's take a look at some examples here. We have the word cat, gatto. Cats in plural would be gatti. Again, gatto becomes gatti. Book, libro, becomes libri. The O becomes an I at the end of the word. Again, libro, libri. The word son, figlio, becomes figli. Again, singular son becomes figli when made plural. The word bambino becomes bambini. Child, singular masculine, bambino becomes bambini. Now let's take a look at some feminine examples. Feminine singular versus plural. First example is house versus houses. Casa, case. Again, casa versus case. Next example, pen. Penna, penne. Not the pasta. This is the writing utensil. Penna versus penne. Notice the double consonant, the two N's together, gets a little more emphasis. N, penna, penne. Okay, next example, daughter. Figlia, figlie. Again, singular versus plural. Figlia, figlie. Door. Porta, porte. Listen to that again. Porta, porte. Remember the E sound at the end of the plural noun is E. It's a short E sound. Porte. Remember the alphabet. A, B, C, D, E. Okay? I'm pointing that out this way you don't say porte and put a little Y sound at the end. You cut that off. Porte. Just like case, penne, figlie, porte. Okay? Let's move on to the next section. Nouns ending in E can be masculine or feminine and are made plural by changing the last letter to I. So the Italian E at the end becomes the Italian E. So let's look at some examples again. Masculine singular nouns. Il padre, the father, becomes I padri. Okay, again, il padre becomes I padri. The cell phone. Il cellulare becomes I cellulari. Again, il cellulare, I cellulari. Next example, the newspaper. Il giornale becomes I giornali. Again, il giornale, I giornali. Now for feminine nouns ending in E, the same rule applies at the end of the word. The E becomes an I. So the Italian E becomes the Italian I. So, la madre, for example, becomes le madri. The la becomes le. La notte becomes le notti. The nights versus the nights. Again, la notte, le notti. Next example, the region. La regione becomes le regioni. Again, la regione, le regioni. Next example, the station. La stazione becomes le stazioni. Again, la stazione, le stazioni. Last one, the decision. La decisione becomes le decisioni. Again, la decisioni, again, la decisione, le decisioni. So again, the masculine nouns ending in the letter E or the feminine nouns ending in the letter E become plural by adding an I at the end. Again, il padre becomes I padri, where la madre becomes le madri. Okay? So here are a few exceptions to the gender patterns. So il soprano, referring to the female singer, the ending doesn't change. It just happens to be a masculine noun. Il soprano, referring to the female singer. Next example, la guardia, the guard. It's a feminine noun. It's used for both male and female. So la guardia, for example, la guardia di finanza, you know, the militarized police force in Italy, you're familiar with them. La guardia di finanza. This is a feminine noun. It's used for both male and female persons. Other examples are la persona, the person. It's a feminine noun, but it's la persona. Doesn't matter if it's a male or a female person. It's la persona. Next example, the spy, la spia. Another example, la stella. Those are a few examples of some of the exceptions to gender patterns. Now I would like to bring in my friend Fabio from the island of Sardinia to provide us with some noun examples. Andiamo.
Nomi maschili, singolari e plurali. Gatto, gatti. Libro, libri. Figlio, figli. Bambino, bambini. Nomi femminili, singolari e plurali. Casa, case. Penna, penne. Figlia, figlie. Porta, porte. Nomi maschili che terminano in e. Il padre, i padri. Il cellulare, i cellulari. Il giornale, i giornali. Nomi femminili che terminano in e. La madre, le madri. La notte, le notti. La regione, le regioni. La stazione, le stazioni. Ricordate che per distinguere i nomi maschili o femminili è importante riconoscere l'articolo il, lo, la, i, gli, le.
Va bene ragazzi, è tutto per oggi. Abbiamo concluso la nostra lezione dei nomi comuni e propri nella lingua italiana. Allora vi lascio con mio amico Fabio, che vi darà degli esempi e delle frasi italiane. So until next time, once again, thank you for watching and arrivederci.
Il libro è sul tavolo. I libri sono sul tavolo. Il dottore lavora in ospedale. I dottori lavorano in ospedale. La tavola è rotonda. Le tavole sono rotonde. La casa è bella. Le case sono belle.